Hello everyone, it's your options guy. Welcome back to another video. So if you're new, welcome. I do videos usually on the daily, but lately I've been slacking. Been kind of busy with other stuff going on, and actually recently I've been approved for another house. So I've been mainly focusing on the house market right now, and the house market is pretty crazy. I don't know if you guys have tried buying a house yourself, but there's not that many good houses out there, and the ones that are available are like not that great, or they're overpriced, one or the other. So trying to get a house is kind of a battle, but luckily I was able to get another one, and it's looking like I'm set on that one. So I haven't had any money in here in the stocks lately because of that, and yeah, been kind of busy with that. And also sorry for the background noise, my computer the fan keeps on going off. But anyways, we're here to talk about Workhorse, and Workhorse has been very painful lately. I'll go through like my experience with Workhorse, and I'll tell you guys why I got in and why I'm thinking of getting out. It's still like a challenge. I want to know from you guys that are in Workhorse, like what your take on it is. Like, I'll cover basically like the chart, and then I'll cover recent news with their earnings and other recent news about like what's going on with like in general, like Democrats are proposing for more electric stuff, and basically what happened today. And then I'll cover institutional ownership, and let's see what other news. I'll also cover basically like the analysts and what they think about it, and then I'll cover like ARK and what they've been doing with that. I'll also showcase my portfolio and how it's been bleeding lately, mainly because of Workhorse. But yeah, so before we get into it, I just want to emphasize I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just doing this for entertainment purposes, just talking about my thoughts and opinions. All right, so let's get into it. So the reason why I got into Workhorse, well, it was mainly two reasons. One is because I saw that it's been stagnating here around this area between the 11 to 13 range. And it did just have like a recent huge sell-off because they didn't get the USPS contracts. And however, it has been stagnating, consolidating. So I was like, oh, it looks like it's a good time to buy, right? You know, thinking like, hey, it's come off so much, that's probably like a good time to buy the dip, right? Well, apparently I guess I was wrong. So I was really looking forward to earnings, and for the most part, I didn't think earnings was that bad. Like, as you can see, we're rising up until earnings, and then all of a sudden, boom, like we just like crashed hard, and then the market overall crashed even harder. That brought us down even more, and then yeah, so it's just been bad. But the other reason why I got into it was because with the whole new administration, the Biden administration, they're talking about EV this, EV that, and American, and then basically Workhorse is both. They're both EV and American. And the third reason was because ARK has definitely been investing in Workhorse. So with those three things, I was like, hey, you know what? It's probably a good time to do some plays here. Now, I wasn't planning to hold on for long term. Honestly, I was just planning to do like some quick trades. But then as we kept on falling during these dips, I was like, hey, I'll just load up more and more. And then, you know, sooner or later, like once there's like any news about like ramped up production or any news about like EV stuff, usually this stock just jumps up. And that's kind of what happened today with well, let's talk about earnings first. So this not earnings. What's earnings? Is it this one? Yeah, so let's talk about earnings. So first of all, earnings, like the guidance was brought down because of the whole chip shortage, but I didn't think that was too much of like an issue to bring down like the stock even further. I think that was like, or should have been like priced in, the whole chip shortage. But then I saw the numbers, how it says the net loss was 120.5 million versus the net income of 4.8 million the year ago period. So it seems like, yeah, they had a bigger loss. However, the sales rose from 84 to 121. So to me, it seems like they're spending more money on like research and development and all that stuff, going to like the increasing the supply or the production. So yeah, overall it wasn't like good earnings, but also it wasn't like great earnings. I think it was just like kind of so and so. And Yeah, that's earnings. But basically, as you can see here, sorry about that. It says Workhorse reverses early loss on report that Pelosi supports an all-electric USPS. So this is kind of like what made Workhorse jump. First, the stock jumped. I think it was like negative 13% in the morning, like pre-market, but like everything was like super red in the morning, and then it jumped back up to the green, and then like somewhere around 9 a.m. I think my time, it jumped to like almost 11%. Like it was crazy, and it's because of like this news that broke out about supporting an all-electric USPS. So I believe the current USPS like bid winner, Oshkosh, I think that's how you say it. I think they're not fully electric from my understanding. It says right here, shares of Workhorse have moved frequently in the past off positive and negative reports of company landing new business with the USPS or further investigations into the awarding of contract earlier this year to Oshkosh. So yeah, basically the USPS contract went to them, but I believe they're not full electric. And then there was this other recent news about plans for electric postal trucks gaining traction among Democrats. Momentum for the proposal, which is being spearheaded by the committee, appears to be gaining stem, and basically it has like 50 Democrats have signed a letter. And then it says this news comes as Workhorse and Oshkosh are wrapped up in political battle after Democrats complained that a new contract for the next generation vehicles awarded to Oshkosh didn't include enough electric vehicles. So it doesn't seem like Workhorse is gonna win this contract with USPS, but it's very possible that a new bid or new type of contract could also be spun up specifically for like just electric. And obviously I think Workhorse would be the winner here. There's, based on what I've seen, if you're looking at electric and American and a company that already has an actual product versus some other companies who are barely creating a product, I think Workhorse is the leader. And yeah, so as of right now, I'm kind of conflicted on like whether to keep Workhorse or whether to sell Workhorse, at least the calls that I bought. But I mean, my calls expire in January, so a lot could happen from now until January. But then again, like you know, I could also be just like cutting my losses right now and then putting my money somewhere else, and then, you know, going from there. Or I can just like cut my losses and just keep the cash and just wait to see what happens, because right now the market is really volatile with like, we're having like up and down swings. And yeah, it's been kind of crazy with the whole inflation scare and everything. So yeah, overall I also want to show you guys. So one thing I noticed is that institutional ownership has been going up. I think not too long ago it was like around 50%, and now it's like 54%. So it's been going up. Even though the stock has been going down, institutional ownership has been rising. And yeah, so again, with like the whole news coming out, oh, and there's also like a gas shortage thing that's going on. So I don't know, that could be pushing for more EV stuff. So anytime you hear EV news, especially coming from like the Biden administration, this stock tends to jump. So yeah, anyways, let me show you. So yeah, ARK has been selling off though, which is kind of unfortunate because well, one, you know, like with ARK backing, it usually keeps like the retail investor like happy. However, once ARK starts unloading, then it kind of looks down, or this brings the sentiment down, right? So as you can see, I don't know if this is fully updated, but Workhorse is like down all the way down here. They did have it like somewhere in the middle, and now it's like they've just been offloading. I wouldn't be surprised if they offload the rest, or maybe they might keep some, I don't know. But then they also have it in this other ETF, which is the space exploration, but Workhorse is down here on number 30. And overall, ARK still has a good chunk of money in it. I think if this is currently updated, then that would mean they have around $8.3 million in total invested in Workhorse. But yeah, so I think what ARK is doing is basically because their fund has been going down pretty significantly for year to date. Overall, like obviously past year and past 5 years, they've been up a lot. But if you're doing like year to date, they're down like 25 or 30%, somewhere around there. And so I think they're doing like this type of rotation where they're basically cutting off some of the more speculative stocks and just increasing to their more high conviction stocks. So I think that's basically what they're doing. The one thing that also sucks though that about ARK is that they've normally when they invest to have like a 5 to 10 year like vision or plan. So it's kind of unfortunate that they've gotten into Workhorse just like recently, and then now they're like offloading with like somewhat of a quick turnaround time. It hasn't really been that long. But anyways, yeah, so that's what ARK's been doing. So that's kind of like the bringing down the sentiment as well. So let me show you guys my portfolio. Like, yeah, I was doing relatively well, coming back up almost at 75, and then now look at me, I'm like 55. It dropped like 20,000. It's mainly because of Workhorse. So I've been buying like calls, and then I've had 500 shares since like 1460, so it's not too bad. Obviously there's people who've like had this at like 40 or 30, I don't know what, like above 20, and I've got in like at 14 thinking that was a good deal, but look, it's now like around $8. So but the things that are killing me is these calls right here. I know they expired January. I do have a long time for Workhorse to pick back up. And then if you look at the analysis price target, the average is 15.70, which is pretty good overall, and this is based on 7 analysts. So the highest one that we've got recently was the $20 one, I believe. Yeah, it says high forecast of $20 and a low forecast of $8.50. So obviously it's already at, yeah, it's already like around $8.50. So I feel like it's $8.24. So I feel like it has, you know, I just really need it to be around 13. You know, sometime, not soon, but like at least like within a couple months. As long as it's around 13, 14, that's good enough for me. Basically make my money back. If it's 20, even better. But then, yeah, I feel like there needs to be like a spark for this to really go up. Like yeah, it's good that the Democrats are talking about the electric fleet and all that, but I think there really needs to be like a at least somewhat of a rumor of like, you know, or maybe like the USPS contract part 2, something going to Workhorse, something like that, and then that would really kick up the stock price. So as of right now, I'm kind of I don't know if I should hold. I don't know if I should keep at least Workhorse. I mean, I have Palantir and AYX and ARK. Like I have shares here. I don't plan on selling these anytime soon. And it's unfortunate I didn't catch the Palantir dip this morning. But yeah, this Workhorse one's the only one that's like my speculative play, and yeah, it's been pretty tough. So yeah, again, if you're on Workhorse, let me know your thoughts. I want to know what you guys are thinking of doing. Obviously, not everyone has like options, or they're not all like, I think most people are like in shares. I could be wrong, I don't know, but it's these options that are killing me for sure. So, and then also like tomorrow, just based on looking at the futures, is not looking so good. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Like, what are your plans? How do you feel about ARK selling? And how do you feel about like it overall? Do you think the institutional buyer or institutional ownership going up is bringing back some sentiment? Do you think the whole oil shortage is also bringing up the sentiment? And like lately, there's been more and more news about the Democrats pushing for electric postal trucks. So it's definitely gaining traction. So it's kind of like it's a huge tug of war thing going on right now, and I feel like if anything, it should see more upside. If anything, based on where we're at right now, like we're already down so so low. Like I don't know if this is like a new support, because we did see that it dropped here and then it had a huge spike here. So I don't know if this is like like an indicator of like a potential reversal. We have to see what happens tomorrow. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and if you like this video, please give a like. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.